Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, good evening, bonjour, welcome to the Type 1 Radio Lounge. I'm back after a short vacation in France, and we're with Sonic, who's up at the Glade Festival. Hi, Sonic.
Hello there, people of the world.
And what we having a hug in?
We're having a hug in. We're in the lovely vehicle that's providing the Wi-Fi for the festival. We've got the satellite on the roof here. This is a lovely guy called Phil's van who stood here just making a little cigarette. Yeah, so it's been
Smoke
a great
weed every
day. Excellent. Is there any pistachio clips up?
Don't know. Reset?
Hello, Richard.
No, I didn't get to loading any of the pistachio clips in yet.
Okay. So, yeah, we're in a big field on a, what do you say it was, a country estate? A country estate in the middle of Norfolk.
Is it near Sandringham?
It's near Sandringham, yeah. Sandringham maybe is about 5-10 miles away.
Is Queenie going to drop in for a bit of Jubilee raving, no?
Yeah, Sonny's already invited her. He's written a poem and sent it to the Queen. It's rather good. Yeah, this kid is he's like 17 years old, and he's just...
He might be a bit older now, but yeah, he's probably on it.
Yeah. He said he was 17.
Is he 17?
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
I thought he'd be older.
Yeah, that's
Thomas
right.
Cross has been a lot older.
Yeah, he's like very, very passionate. So we'll meet Sonny later. The first guest we'll have is a lovely guy called David Ash, who we spent time with yesterday. He was going through the things in his book, which is called Vortex of Energy, which I will bring a copy back to the lounge for all to see. So that talks about consciousness and everything that manifests just being the vortex experience in itself, I think. That's what I took from his talk, but we'll get a deeper understanding from him. So yeah, and then about 20 past 10 we'll have the lovely John Whitterick from getoutofgreed.org to have a little chat. He's had a beer, so let's have a light conversation.
How was the meal he cooked with Howard?
It was lovely. Yes, they made a cracking, excellent. We've got a spotlight. We have lights as well. That would have been better.
Don't forget the radio next, so...
Yes. Oh, right, okay. Well, I have a light now. Even though it's light outside, we're blacked out in the van. So, yeah. It's all good. So, Reset, how's life in Missouri?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm actually in Minnesota right now.
Oh, you come back home, excellent. It's nice to get home.
What was that?
Is it nice to get home?
Oh, yeah. It was actually a trip to walk into my own bedroom. I don't know, I guess having been away for 2 months, yeah, it's just a little weird walking into something that you'd been so familiar with, yet you're so unfamiliar with. I don't know, the whole time I was down there, I don't know, it seemed they kept predicting rain. But it was just always hot and humid, it seemed. I don't know, since I've been home, it's just been raining. It's kind of nice.
It's certainly raining over here. It's coming down like the End of the world is nigh.
No, it's funny. It just as we were talking about it hadn't been raining for a little while. I just mentioned that because of just looking out the window here, and yeah, it just started pouring right now.
Right.
Well, don't jinx us because it's lovely and dry here. For the last couple of days, we've had a lot of jet fighters going over from RAF King's Lynn.
King's Lynn.
Yeah, they're quite cool planes, but scary. Some of them had missiles on.
Yeah, they were big.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they were doing proper low, like hurt your ear type things.
Well, they're getting ready for the Olympics, aren't they? They just bombed the shit out of them. On the subject of that, we're all very familiar with Rick Clay's talks, aren't we?
Yeah.
About the Zion Olympics. Have you seen the opening ceremony that's been devised by...
Green and Pleasant Land?
Oh my God, it couldn't be more bizarre, could it?
Yeah.
William Blake sort of coming to life, and there you go.
Bring Jerusalem to these...
In England, Green and Pleasant Land, so... The clock is ticking, Zion's coming.
This is quite interesting because this linked in with some of what David Ash was talking about yesterday, wasn't it? Really, he's got some revelations on that topic.
Well, the thing was, when we saw that, is it Danny Murphy? What's his name? Danny Boyle, sorry. Danny Boyle unleashed this thing. I mean, they've even got dusted clouds to make it rain on the day. You know, it's just beggars belief. And of course, everybody's saying, well, where are all the black people? It's been quite a week. Have you also seen this Talk UK campaign?
No.
Well, it's a campaign, and they're using the Union Jack, and they're making the Union Jack out of different sort of things, but one of them has been made out of chemtrails. It's absolutely mental. It's a huge poster. You check out.
I have
seen it, because you have to look twice at it to realise that it's chemtrails, because it's not just clouds; it's actually sprayed. You know.
Yeah, I saw the chemtrails as soon as I saw it. I was disgusted. Just how crazy is that? How blatant is that?
It's really just NLP at its damnedest, isn't it? Just let us know. Oh, we're okay. We're just spraying the clouds for your own good.
Well, hopefully we'll be playing Max Egan's Transformation at some point in the wee small hours. Which also touches on geoengineering and the chemtrail situation and what's in them.
Yeah,
those little.
We didn't get any of Ben Stewart's films, did we? Down to you yet?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think we did. It was quite a busy old time before we Pie Chick and I left. So we'll get on that.
We'll get them sorted before Secret Garden Party.
Yeah, definitely. Because we've got an update from Ben before we left. Did we tell you that?
That he's going to come over?
Yeah, he's definitely. We've got him 2 things booked already.
What, 2?
One to talk and one to play. One to talk and one to play. And obviously we'll do our own thing in Brighton, but it's down at the zoo.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so
when's that?
November.
Let's advertise it. When is it?
November. We're waiting to. We're going to get in touch with our record company soon. We've got our contact details, and we're going to sort that all out. So it's going to happen. So Ben Stewart will be live in the lounge in November.
Excellent.
Bit of a coup.
Yes. And by then the lounge will be 40 years old.
How many years? 40.
How did that happen?
Yeah. I know. 1 year, of course, yeah. I thought you said 40.
No. So Glade's pretty cool. Lots of lovely people, everybody I've met. just randomly in the field there. And excellent, it's all lovely. And here's another lovely person. It is our first guest, David Dash. So I'm going to move and let him sit down. We're just going to rearrange the speakers. Yeah.
Silence. We can hear the music all right in the background.
Hello.
Hi.
David. Welcome to the Type 1 Radio Lounge. Lovely to be here. We have with us Steve in Brighton and Reset in Minnesota. And we're also we've got various other people all around the world. So we had a little group talk today. All about your book. Did it newly come out?
Yeah, it's just come out in the last week or so it's exciting. But the work itself goes over 40 years. I started this work when I was 16. But I'm now 63.
Okay.
In fact, I started at 4. At the age of 4, I declared I was going to prove the existence of God through science.
and apparently...
At the age of 6, my father introduced me to nuclear physics. We were prospecting uranium on Bodmin Moor in Cornwall. So, early start, you know.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, Steve and Reset, do you want to say hello to David?
Hello, David.
Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice
Hello.
to meet you, Steve, yeah.
Cool, man.
So your book is called...
The Vortex of Energy, yeah. And people can get a free download of the book on vortexofenergy.com.
Excellent.
Yeah, just go online and download the book for free.
Excellent.
PDF file.
Tell us, I don't know if you can...
What the book is all about. Well, thousands of years ago, the yogis looked into the atom. They probed the atom with their siddhi powers. It's called the anima siddhi, which is going into the small. And they saw that the atom has a lot in common with Tony Blair. There's nothing in there but spin. So they literally saw spin. They saw energy spinning to form the subatomic particle. So what I've done is I've developed this vortex theory, and it explains pretty well everything. It's very exciting. It's a complete physics.
Yeah. I've got a copy, and I can't wait to start reading that.
Yeah.
So how in the theory? How does explain the vortex?
Well, what the vortex does is the vortex of energy explains mass. So the spin creates inertia, and the spin in every direction. It's a bit like a ball of wool. The energy is spinning on an infinite number of axes, which are changing all the time. That's why it's a perfect sphere, but it resists movement in any direction. So this is the origin of inertia. Now, Richard Feynman said the laws of inertia have no known origin, and here we've explained inertia just in a stroke, you see.
Yeah.
And where does the vortex end? Well, it doesn't. It just extends into infinity. So you've got this infinite extension of the vortex, which is overlapping every other vortex, because every subatomic particle, every electron, every proton is a vortex. So they're all interacting and interacting and overlapping, and that explains force fields like electric charge, magnetism, and gravity. It's really easy. And that's something like three-dimensional extension. You know, we live in a three-dimensional world. Why not a two-dimensional world? Why not a 64-dimensional world? Why is it three-dimensional? Because the vortex is a three-dimensional system. I mean, you know, we can't just assume, you know, you can't just say, oh, we're just three dimensions. You've got to explain why three dimensions. So this is how we sort of carve through physics and explain physics. And all the materialistic people have a lot of fun explaining away anything supernatural or paranormal, you know. Well, now we're explaining away materialism. We're saying materialism is an illusion. We're being conned. We're being duped by spin. This is the ultimate spin. You know, the big con, they call it Maya, the Indians. There's nothing in there. There's nothing there. It's a complete illusion materials.
So would you say that we are consciousness experiencing
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what it's all about. Basically, what we realize is there's nothing moving. Einstein is difficult to understand, not because of his theories or his mathematics, but because of his worldview. He said matter and light are real, but there's no substance to them. So the spin creates the illusion of material substance. So our world is formed of little bits of movement, particles of movement. And the movement is the speed of light. And this is what Einstein established. He showed us that energy is in particles, and it's relative to the speed of light. And so it's little bits of speed, but there's nothing speeding. So that's
it's just the illusion of speed.
It's an illusion of speed, yeah. So these particles of energy are not acts of material substance. They're acts of consciousness because they're abstract. They're thoughts. Something where there's activity but there's nothing active is abstract, like a dream. They're bits of dream stuff.
Yeah, and it's all about perspective, isn't it?
It's all about perspective. It's the Aboriginals were right. We live in a dream state. We're not in a physical world at all. You know how when you're asleep and you have a dream, it's so real, you know. And then I remember last night I had a dream, and I was there stuck on the top of a building in a car with the family. I don't know how I'd driven up there, but there was no driving back. It was a flat roof on top of a skyscraper, and I didn't know how the hell we were going to get down. It was so real. It felt real.
I just got out of the car and walked downstairs.
You know, the kids were all jumping down the flights, and it was a weird dream. You know, you have these dreams, and I wake up now, and it's like I realise it's just an illusion. But at the time in my dream, I thought it was for real. I was really concerned. How was I going to get the car down? You know, the flat roof.
Yeah. I wonder if Retta could explain that one. Maybe you astral projecting.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But just finishing this off. So basically, these particles of energy are more thoughts than things. Yeah. Have you really clear? Particles are more thoughts than things. So the universe is a mind, and the substratum of reality, the bedrock of reality, is consciousness. Energy are many, but consciousness is one. It cannot be divided. And so all of you out there, you're listening to me through your ears, and I can hear myself speak through my ears, but actually it's the same being in all of us. So you're me in another body. You're having a different experience, but the consciousness that's hearing through the ears, seeing through the eyes, feeling through the skin, the awareness of thought itself, that this is not thought, it's the consciousness of thought. You know, it's like Descartes said, I think, you know, therefore I am. No, I am, therefore I think. The other way around. He got it wrong. So the thing is that it's consciousness.
So would you say that yesterday you were talking about the different levels?
That's right.
Speaking of levels, Nick, can we try and get David a bit closer to the mic? We're having problems hearing.
The thing is that the consciousness is one.
Is that better?
Well, it sounds okay to me, but the blog talk sort of people are telling us that it's not very loud, very muffled.
Okay. Speaking of this, is this better?
I mean, it sounds good to me because we're on.
Okay.
Is that better? Is it better when I speak here? Because the consciousness, particles of energy are more thoughts than things, and the bedrock of reality is consciousness, but this is undivided. So the consciousness in us all is one. You can't split consciousness. That's what the physics are showing. So there's one consciousness underlying everything, and that is what we call God. You know, you use these different words, but, you know, so in the ancient Egyptian language, that divine principle, that consciousness, was called Hu. So this is the origin of our name, human being, one being in the many bodies. And that, you know, that's the thing with the brotherhood and sisterhood of man. So it's almost like we've come into this world and we've taken on these brains that have filters that make us think we're separated, and we have the illusion of materiality, the illusion of separation, but actually it's all just a dream, and we'll wake up from it one day. But there are other dream states. you can have speeds of energy faster than the speed of light. So these higher dimensions are worlds of energy, super energy, beyond the speed of light. Okay? And the way it works is that all lesser speeds are part of greater speeds. Okay? So our world based on the speed of light is part of the world based on twice the speed of light, or 16 times the speed of light, or whatever these speeds are. And the other thing is that space and time are set up by the vortex, so that the separation between these worlds of energy and super energy is not space and time. They're all in the same here and now. The separation is speed. So these are the worlds all around us, but we're not aware of them because they're moving too fast. We can only be aware of things in our space-time that are relative to the speed of light. But Minkowski was the mathematician who taught Einstein his math, and there's a wonderful diagram called the Minkowski diagram. And it shows that speeds faster than the speed of light cannot be perceived within a space-time based on the speed of light, you see? So these other energies are there, but we're not aware of them because they're based on faster speeds than the speed of light. It's all relativity. So the ancient prediction of angels and spirits was that the angels are all around us, but we're not aware of them because they're moving too fast. And of course, with the fairies, we're too slow and clumsy to perceive them. So it's interesting that in ancient times, there was this recognition that the separation between us and the spirit world is a factor of speed, a frequency of vibration, or anything like that, but speed. So these guys were all anticipating Einstein in the Minkowski diagram.
But the speed of what?
It's the speed of the energy, the intrinsic speed that's either undulating in a wave form to form light or spinning in the vortex to form matter, because they're particles of speed. And the thing that's most important is the value of the speed. Is it 30 miles an hour, or is it 100 miles an hour, or 186,000 miles per second? You see, which is the speed of light.
Yeah.
But so the thing is, what my axiom is that there's more reason to believe in angels and fairies than in quarks and the virtual particles of quantum mechanics. Because part of this physics is to knock out quark theory and quantum mechanics. It's all it's just mythology. It's just theory. There are no quarks. And I used the neutron to disprove the uncertainty principle of Werner Heisenberg, which Einstein described as a real which is calculus, so ingenious in its complexity as to be impossible to prove wrong. But you can prove it wrong with the neutron. And the neutron is used by physicists to detonate their weapons of mass destruction. So it's divine retribution that the neutron should destroy all their theories, their quantum mechanics, their quark theory, everything goes thanks to this particle. And in its place comes a new physics that finds a place for spirit. You know, there's these energies underlying the trees, underlying the flowers, underlying us. And until we recognize these higher energies that are holding our world in form, there'll be no harmony on Earth. You know, we live in harmony with these other beings. And in ancient times, there was that recognition. All other civilizations have recognized the existence of spirit. And this forces against spirit started in the ancient Greek civilization. The time has come for us to get back to the Egyptians and higher civilizations. And Hermes is the great teacher. He's the one who really understood how it all hangs together.
Well, that's exactly what World Shift is here to do, isn't it? Is to raise that consciousness and to bring people together.
Yeah.
Like, it's brought us together, and we're happy to love each other. Do you want to continue with some things about Hermes?
Yeah, so speaking to you from the Glade Festival, we're up here in Norfolk. It's pretty wild weather. The wind is pretty wild. You can hear the music in the background. Several thousand people here, all in dancing and enjoying, having a chill-out time. But yeah, Hermes was a great teacher. He was 3 generations after Moses. And the name Hermes means movement. So his first principle is that everything is movement. Movement is the basis of everything. This is what Buddha taught. This is what the Hindus taught. The Hindus said that the universe is the dance of Shiva, not Shiva dancing. It's the dance, the pure dance. There's nothing dancing. And the Chinese, all of these ancient civilizations recognize that movement underlies everything. And in our civilization, the greatest scientist in history, Albert Einstein, taught us the same, that movement is the basis of everything. The speed of light. He said the speed of light is the sole universal constant. And the speed of light is movement. It's just a form of movement. And you say, well, what's speeding? Well, nothing's speeding. That's why he said it's the speed of light, not something at the speed of light. You see, it's a particle of speed. That's why people find it so hard to understand it. So the next principle Hermes says is as above, so below. And so you see the same patterns repeating at every level.
That goes it. You said that not only the so below, so above, so below, and that's like the fractal, isn't it?
That's the fractal principle, correct? Yeah, yeah.
Which in itself is the spiraling vortex.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Continue.
Well, Hermes also taught one of his principles was that the law of duality of male and female applies at every level of the universe. So the star or the sun is like the masculine, it's all physics, with its harem of planets. It's like the bull with his harem of cows, or the stag with his harem of does. You see this repeating pattern. And at a subatomic level, I've got the subatomic sex or quantum sex, which is a great fun sort of part of this physics, which if you download the physics from the website vortexofenergy.com, you'll read this. The idea is that the light is masculine, so that the Lucifer is the male god, the masculine god that is worshipped in all the churches. This is the god of light, Lucifer, and the female. Basically, Lucifer means light. He's the carrier of light. So light is masculine because it's waveform. It's just like sperm. And the vortex is the feminine form. It's the basis of matter, which is mater, which is mother. So these words like Lucifer and mater or mother, they're Latin. And so matter is feminine. And that's the vortex. The vortex is like the ovum. It's spherical and receptive. So the wave drives itself into the vortex, rather like the sperm drives into the ovum. And then the wave, part of the wave is stuck in the vortex, the electron vortex, but it pushes the vortex ahead of itself in wave motion. So you've got the tail of light energy sticking out of the vortex. And it's like a tadpole. It moves in a wavy line because it's driven by a wavy tail. So these are wave particles. So this is how we explain wave particle duality. And that's the ground state electron. That's the marriage between the light or the heat and the matter, the vortex. But then the wife, you see, the electron that's married to this wave train of energy, she's still attractive. And another quantum of energy drives into her like the lover, and she lifts up into the excited state in the atom. The triangle doesn't last long between lover, husband, and wife, and she drops back to the ground state from the excited state, and the disillusioned lover, the photon of light, leaves, and that's the flame, that's fire, that's the light that comes out of the flame. So again, we can explain a lot of what's happening in quantum physics with the analogy of sex, which makes it much more interesting for students, much more teachable, you see. Because that's, most students spend most of their time thinking sex. We'll teach them physics to do sex and they're interested, yeah.
So it's basically all about the spiral, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Nassim Harriman's work? Nassim Harriman?
No, I can't say I am. I'm sorry about that. No, I'm not terribly familiar.
What about David Cowan? You familiar with his work, David?
Well, I tend to sort of work in a little bit in isolation. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of people working, but I tend to sort of be in my own little bubble with this work. And the thing is that I do all sorts of other things as well. I'm involved in nutrition. I'm dealing in a product to help deal with the alcohol, which I'm called Fix Up. You see, vitamins, minerals, and amino acids to help the liver cope with what people throw at it. I'm a musician. I'm a father. I've got loads of children. I'm looking after my 92-year-old mother. So I'm not really, following all the threads at the moment. There's just so much going on out there, that I've got this work, and if people want the work, they can look in at my work, and if they're not interested, that's fine too. But I find there's so much going on. I'm 63 now, and I did most of this work when I was much younger. I just republish it to keep it alive, keep it out there. You see. Yeah. But there's something else I'd like to say before we finish.
Okay.
Is there a bit of time?
No, yeah, I think we put the mic there because we don't.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
The most exciting thing about this vortex, can you hear me all right? Everyone here? This is really pretty important. Okay. Now, the really exciting thing with the vortex is the potential to accelerate the speed of the energy within the vortex. So I've got this body here, and if I could accelerate the speed of energy beyond the speed of light, then every vortex in my body would disappear out of this physical space-time and then appear in a higher dimension. Now, the way this can happen is if a teleporter, I'm going to talk about the fifth dimension, the fifth level of quantum reality. Now, I happen to know it's 16 times the speed of light. Okay? So the thing is that if one of these, if there's a teleportation beam, a vortex beam tracked onto my body, if the energy is switched on so that the fifth dimensional energy surrounds my body, then through resonance, the speed of the energy in every subatomic particle of my body would accelerate beyond the speed of light, and I would disappear out of this world and appear in another space-time reality in the fifth dimension. This is the ascension. It's also called the rapture by the Christians. It may not be necessary for the body to be removed from this physical plane, which is why I rather like the term rapture. I think ascension gives people the idea that we're going somewhere. We're not leaving the earth. We're not escaping. We're not running away. The body stays here, but the consciousness is lifted into a higher reality. But the body needs to disappear because there's danger. It's in danger. That can happen. This teleportation being can do that. But once you're in the ascended state, then you've got control of that technology, and you can move in and out of space-time rather than through it. So if there's any breakdown in world systems, like the Carrington event, which is predicted for this September, where there'll be a universal blackout and all the transport systems are down, if there's an ascension, then we can move in and out of space-time, be there to support people. So the call is for volunteers. The attitude for surrender, ascension should be, I want to serve humanity. It's not that I want to serve my ego. I don't want, it's more, I just want to be more empowered, better able to help the earth through the transition, be the midwife.
Did you tell us about the Carrington event?
I'll talk about the Carrington effect, just to finish the ascension, I was spreading the ascension message in the 1990s. I spread it throughout the world, and using this physics because I could predict the ascension process. And I think ascension is imminent. I think it's the most exciting thing that's coming. The Carrington effect, there's the US Academy of Sciences predicted that unprecedented solar activity that's due in the next 2 or 3 years could result in a solar storm, a super solar storm, rather like the 1859 event that was observed by Carrington, and that's why it's called the Carrington event. And so, there's a possibility that a cloud of plasma may come from the sun, and we're very vulnerable at the equinox, and if something happens September or March, then it could fill our atmosphere with charged particles, and if it's anything on a par with what happened in 1859, and scientists are predicting it could happen again on that level, it could burn out the national grid and burn out electrical systems. The internet would go, burn out the transformers, and basically we'd be plunged into the dark. So all the sort of financial, industrial systems, economic, political, and food supplies, everything would be down, and humanity would suddenly be back in the dark ages without electricity.
But we've got some free energy.
Well, that's where free energy is so important. Again, with the vortex, there are predictions of free energy turbines, and people are already developing these turbines. So the vortex theory provides the theoretical explanation for anti-gravity free energy systems. But we need the current system to collapse. We need a universal blackout so that it creates space for the new free people to bring in the new free systems. At the moment, we can't form communities on the land. The councils stop us. You know, people who come out with these free energy technologies are harassed and blocked. So we need to get rid of the old political, economic, industrial system as soon as possible. And then gorillas will be off the menu. In other words, these idiots out there who are shooting gorillas and other endangered species for money, we need to get rid of money. Money is the curse because it's destroying the earth. So, you know, and so long as there's an ascension which has been predicted, then we'll have a wonderful future because, you know, if there are enough of us who volunteer for service to support humanity through this transition, then it would be a glorious transition. We'd be able to get back and live on the land and live in harmony with nature and really experience these higher dimensional energies and recognize that dolphins are as intelligent as us. You know, I mean, the slime mold is a very high form of intelligence. I mean,
I liked it yesterday when you were talking about crop circles and you thought you said that you were talking about crop circles and you were saying that you know, somebody was making those. There might have been an ant wedding going on.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah, if we talk about crop formations, you see, as far as I'm concerned, crop formations are proof of the existence of these higher dimensional realities, of realms of super energy beyond the speed of light. You know, the crops are like canvas. We don't ask permission of the bacteria on the canvas before we slap paint all over it. So why should they ask permission before they paint a picture on the cornfields? And this business of Doug and Dave, that is the hoax. They're the hoaxes. And it's fraud. Doug and Dave were RAF personnel. They were intelligence personnel. They were paid £50,000 each to claim to have created crop circles. This is a corrupt system we live in. The media, the Murdoch media, it's rotten and corrupt. And it's time to go. And we need something, some event to knock out this system so that we can bring in the truth, bring in freedom.
So you're wanting the Carrington event?
Absolutely, roll on the Carrington event. Every day I pray to Brother Sun, come on, do it, Brother Sun. Have a good bath. You know, we need a sunbath to wipe out the electric. Look, people are fat. It won't do them any harm to have a bit of a famine, to lose weight. You know, I mean, obesity is a major problem. This will solve this and many other health problems.
Let me hear you.
Yeah, I mean, the flow of alcohol would be terminated, you know, people wouldn't even need fix-up anymore, you know. Get back to nature. A little bit of a fast. I mean, remember Stalingrad. People survived. People have survived under most difficult circumstances of war. Remember the First World War, the Second World War. We weren't there. We're all spoiled now. So a little bit of hardship wouldn't do humanity any harm.
Well, we've survived this long. Is there any questions for our guest, David? Steve?
Any questions?
Hello?
Hello? You guys still there?
Hello, Steve? Hello? Yeah. Any, Risha, any questions for David?
Well, I guess not so much a question.
Okay.
But, no, I was earlier he was talking about Hermes, and I was kind of wondering, with the idea of alchemy of to like the male and female, one thing that I'd kind of heard lately was that people shouldn't necessarily be associating with the physical sex of their body, because if we're talking about we're consciousness, we're spirit inside this physical body, the spirit or consciousness, whatever, doesn't have a sex. And it kind of seems like it would really help humanity if people stopped associating with their physical sex and tried to actually just have a balance of masculine and feminine and carry on from there. I mean, that seems like one of the first divisions that actually happens in life to separate people, is you separate them by sex,
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because, I'm having an amazing relationship with a young woman. She's 40 now and I'm 63, and it's non-sexual, and we're real buddies, we're real friends, and we're on a mission together, and we're always hanging out together, and it feels really balanced, because she screams at me a lot, and that feels right. That's what I'm used to when I'm being married. I've been through 3 marriages, but it's such a relief not to have the sex there, all the emotional entanglement. And yeah, it's so true. I feel we're discovering a higher level of connection between male and female through the heart when there isn't a lot of sex involved. So it's good to recognize the femininity and masculinity in that sort of, men are from Mars, women from Venus kind of duality, but not to always associate it with sex is a great discovery. And that's what I'm going through at the moment, is discovering just how great a relationship with a woman can be when you haven't got sex in there.
Excellent. Tell us some more about the book. It looks quite in depth. Go for it.
Yeah, any listeners do. I think the website should be up and ready by now. Get onto that website, vortexofenergy.com, and download the book. And it's full of really important information. And get it off to your friends, your mates. We need to spread the word around. Again, I'm trying to get away from money. I avoid charging. I really want to get this work out there rather than say, people have to pay. That's why it's a free download. It doesn't mean it's not valuable. It just means that, we don't want money getting in the way.
Yes. Well, we all know money is just a piece of paper, and it has no value except for what we put onto it.
Yeah. Well, what I say is money is only as good as it's given. Money is a neutral energy, but when it's used for taking, everyone is just concerned. It's like when it's used as a vehicle of selfishness, then it's very destructive. But when we use it as a vehicle of giving and let go and start trusting, I've just been recently letting people buy my book at the cost of production, and immediately people have started giving me money. People have started being really, really generous. So if we can trust and just do what we need to do without trying to make money out of things, then we find all our needs are met. And I'm having the most wonderful life where it's not all based on how much money I can make. It's all based on how much money I can give to where it's really needed.
Yeah. That's a very honourable endeavour there, my friend. Really. Give and you will receive.
Yeah.
I think how are you, Phil?
I'm very good. Yeah. I'm just watching the comments here. I think our sound. Hopefully our sound is okay. I think we should put the mic here, and then I'd like to ask for feedback. Can you hear me if the mic's here? Then
are you hearing all right now with the mic in between us?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Pass it around and we can have more of a conversation as opposed to this kind of. I think that would work better.
Yeah. Can anybody hear us?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Coming through? Yeah. Can you hear us clearly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just had a quick question for David, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Fire away.
On the website, thevortexofenergy.com, I'm looking and I'm not seeing a place to download the book. It says website coming soon, and then contact David Ash is the only thing you can click on.
Okay. Well, thanks for feeding that back. I'm on tour at the moment, and I've got someone building the website. They should have finished by now, but obviously they haven't finished the job. So you'll have to just be a little bit patient. I can't get back to sorting it out for a week or so, but I'll get on the case as soon as possible.
Okay, was just curious.
Let's sort it out, yeah.
Bill is the man with the solutions. He just gaffer taped the microphone to the table. Excellent. So your website will be coming soon then?
Well, yeah, I mean, as I say, yes, I'll get on the case. When I finish this tour of festivals, I can get back and really get that book online, and then people can access it, yeah.
So do you want to talk about what you are doing currently with the Jerusalem and the Dome of the Rock? Just before we were talking about the Olympics and the opening ceremony, having the Green and Pleasant Land theme from Sandy Boyle.
Yeah, we've been working very hard in the UK to put Jerusalem under the protection of Avalon. These are major portals, and so that the Jerusalem is now under the dominion of the goddess, which is the Avalon energy, and to protect the Dome of the Rock, so that, you know, the old masculine god is a thing of the past. You know, it's been this masculine god that of the Bible, the Old Testament God that people have been worshipping at Jerusalem. Well, actually, he's lost his connection. He's lost his power with Jerusalem. He's been switched off, and it's the goddess now, the feminine energy. The time has come for the goddess to return to the earth. The goddess energy is dominant. Yeah.
So is that why you think that what you were saying yesterday that a World War III?
Yeah, because the greatest danger in our world is Zionism. The Zionists want to rebuild the Temple of Solomon, and they can't because of the Dome of the Rock. And so they want a nuclear war so that they can nuke Israel and then rebuild their temple. That's the only way to destroy the Dome of the Rock. They've got to get rid of all the Muslims. That's why there's been so much anti-Muslim propaganda recently, because, you know, they control the media, and they want people to be okay if they go out and nuke all the Muslims. The whole Muslim world would rise up in rage if anyone touched the Dome of the Rock. They can't rebuild the Temple of Solomon. And the Temple of Solomon is an abattoir. It's a place of blood sacrifice. So, of course, they reckon that if you wipe out half of humanity in a nuclear war, you just potentize the temple. It becomes, you know, more blood, as it were. Yeah. It's absolutely horrendous. This whole nonsense about rebuilding the Temple of Solomon, it's a horrific idea.
Yeah.
And, you know...
Did you know of the custom for creating a priest in the ancient world to become a Cohen?
Yes.
They were put in a pit with a grate above them, and the child was sacrificed, and they were drenched in the blood. Yeah. So, you know, what you're saying about the abattoir.
Yeah. Well, this is why Masonry is absolutely obsessed with the Temple of Solomon. And the Freemasons wear aprons and elbow-length gloves because that's the uniform of a slaughterman. You see? And people don't see that. They don't realize what's going on. And it's, you know, so the whole thing is, so what we've done is we've cut basically, we've cut the Illuminati, they're the Illumined Masons, and their God is Lucifer, this God of the Old Testament. They recognize that. It's just, you know, Sanat Kumar, or the Ancient of Days, is Jehovah, and Satan is an anagram of his name. Where does that word come from?
Yeah, but we're not talking about all the Masons here. We're just talking about...
No, we're talking about the Illumined Masons. But it's not that they're bad. In a way, it's all part of the divine. It's all part of the plan of the role of evil.
Waking
us up, making us realize we need to go through war, revolution, materialism, because as divine beings, we need to experience the negative.
Or as divine being.
The divine being, correct. As divine being, we need to experience the negative as well as the positive.
Yeah.
So, when you're God, which is all-powerful, you have to know vulnerability. When you're everywhere, you have to be locked into single point in space and time. When you're love, you have to know fear. You know, when you're peace, you have to know war. So you have to experience the opposite, and that's what the human situation is, an opportunity for us to experience opposites. So these guys have been serving a purpose, but do we let them go as far as a nuclear war? And you know, do we go down into Armageddon or up into Ascension? Well, this is human choice. We can say enough. We're not going to go that far. And I feel that's what humanity is deciding now. We've had enough of war. We've had enough of materialism. We've had enough of obesity, you know, bad food. And we just want to, you know, we've had enough of oppression.
We want to just be.
We just want to be, yeah. Just be and be free.
Yeah, definitely. That is the message, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just to realise your uniqueness in the whole of consciousness.
And it's a lovely year here in England, in Britain, because it's the Diamond Jubilee of the Queen. She's a wonderful woman. She sets a real example of selfless service. And it's her, you know, and the diamond body is the ascended body. And we've got the Olympics coming, where, you know, the word Zion is in the symbol of the Olympics, and actually the dominant feature of the opening ceremony will be the Glastonbury tour, which signifies that Jerusalem is now protected by Avalon, which of course Glade predicted, you see. And so it's all this energy and effort that people have been making.
Do you not think there's a darker side to that, though? Don't you think there's a darker undertone to why they've chosen the Zion in the I don't know whether you're aware of a guy called Rick Clay. Sadly, he passed on a few years ago, but he was talking quite a lot about the symbolism within the Olympics, particularly
I think that the Zionists were expecting their victory. They were expecting their victory this year, but they're not getting what they want. They're not getting their nuclear war. They're not getting Jerusalem. They're not going to be able to rebuild the Temple of Solomon. Instead, we're seeing in the opening ceremony of the Olympics the Glastonbury tour. So it's Glastonbury that's now protecting, is overshadowing Zion. So Zion means the Mount Moriah. It's the Temple Mount, you see. And now so Britain is now.
Does that mean that? So you say that the portal that was in
Jerusalem
has now been shifted?
No, well, you've got two major portals. One portal is in the Middle East over Jerusalem, and the other portal is between Stonehenge, Avebury, and Glastonbury, Somerset, Wiltshire. There's this great portal there. And what's happened is the portal in Britain is now overlaying the portal in the Middle East, so it's protecting the portal.
Okay.
So basically, the Dome of the Rock is being protected, and you know, the Muslims aren't baddies. They're wonderful, devout, very spiritual people.
They're just us.
Yeah, you know, and it's that beautiful Dome of the Rock, and you know.
Sorry to interrupt all, but there's the chat room's going off about the Queen, and you're saying she's a wonderful person, and they're not happy about it.
Well, you know, everyone. I know there's a lot of stuff out there in the conspiracy theories about the Queen being a baddie and being a lizard and all the rest of it. I mean, I used to know David Icke, and you know, the thing is,
someone in the chat room thought you were David Icke.
Oh no, this is a different David here. No, I mean she's a woman who's basically doing her work, and she's a normal human being like the rest of us, and she's the greatest monarch England's ever had. She's a constitutional monarch. She doesn't have real power. She's not. You know, it's.
But she is the richest landowner in the world.
Well, you know,
she could give everybody a couple £100 as well, David, eh?
Yeah, the thing is that
she could, like you were saying earlier about giving money, she's the one who could do it the most. Don't you think you could tell her that?
I'll tell you a little story. I composed when my sister got married. This is in the early 70s. My sister got married. I composed a version of the Lord's Prayer. My brother had 20 people singing it in a church with an 8-part harmony. They recorded it, and he thought, well, because I'm, using an Anglican church for this, and it belongs to the Queen, I better send her a copy. So he sent her a copy to the Queen, and he got a letter back, and she said she thanked him for this cassette of this beautiful singing of the Lord's Prayer, and she said she was playing it every day during Annus Horribilis, that her worst year. She said it carried her through the year. I mean, it's, the thing is that if you go into her apartments, the television cameras have been there. In her apartments in Windsor, there are all these letters and cards and little bits and pieces that children have sent her. She's totally devoted to the children. Every single child that writes to her gets a personal letter back. She's a very sincere woman, and I know there's a lot of bullshit spoken about her in the alternative movement, and I won't hear a bar of it,
I haven't met her, so I can't comment on what she's actually like. It's all conjecture.
It's all conjecture. Yes.
It must be a tough.
She's a prisoner of her position. It's a tough life, and when people think she's rich, all the overheads of all the staff employment, keeping those.
We pay for that.
Yeah.
We pay for that.
David, she's fucking loaded, mate. She's a...
she owns proper, she owns Australia outright.
Yeah.
It's her, not with the Queen, as Elizabeth.
Well,
and Canada.
Well, this is the whole story of William the Conqueror coming and just taking the land. But actually, you go out there to an Aussie, and the Aussies own Australia. There's no bones about it. They could kick out the Queen tomorrow if they want to. They could have a referendum and just get rid of the monarchy if they want to. So, it's like Crown. It's constitutional.
But still,
Parliament could get rid of her tomorrow if they want to. They kick her out.
Yeah.
She knows that.
I don't know whether or not they should kick her out as such. It's more like maybe kick her in touch and give her, just say, chill out.
Well, apparently she is. Apparently she's got a very good sense of humour. She teases and likes to be teased.
And do you not think...
And she's really in touch. And she works harder than any other politician, I tell you.
And what do you think about the future Sun King?
Well, it's difficult to say. I think they're just, they're people who are doing their best, and it's a duty, to end up with that trip laid on you. It's a huge responsibility. I wouldn't want to be there.
No, definitely not. Right, we're coming up to 10, so we're going to have a little break. Thank you so much, David.
Lovely to speak to you all.
Yeah.
David, just one last thought from the United States, my good friend Retta. She says the Queen is definitely devoted to children because she thinks they're tasty.
I didn't catch that.
She said the Queen likes children because she thinks they're tasty.
Yeah, all that stuff, that's a load of old bullshit. All that stuff about her being cannibal and all that sort of stuff. No, really, it's totally unimaginable. People who come up with those sort of ideas are off their rockers as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
really,
maybe you should speak to some of the...
we're all lizards. We've all got reptilian brains crowned with a cerebral cortex. We're all just human beings getting on with our lives.
Just consciousness.
Consciousness, absolutely. Manifestations of consciousness. Yeah.
Even the lizard queen.
Yeah.
Even all those dodgy bankers. Yeah.
Goddess bless the Queen, that's what I say.
Which is not necessarily the opinion of the Type 1 Radio Lounge, but thank you, David. Very informative talk.
Thank you very much. Thanks for letting me speak.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Go and have a joint and a couple of tabs of acid, mate.
I'll have a joint.
Yeah, but what are we going to do?
Go and watch Sammy Prosper and Raj doing it.
He's now going to go and sell some pills.
He wants to take a couple of them.
Got mine. So we're also joined here now by the lovely John Whitterick.
That's correct.
From getoutofree.org.
Get out of debt free.
Getoutofdebtfree.org. Hello. hello, welcome to the Taiwan Radio Lounge. I think you know Steve in Brighton. Hello,
Hi, Dave.
Steve.
Dave, have you got that tenner you owe me? How you doing, man? You all right?
Fiat currency. And we're also joined by Reset, who is in Minnesota, and Letter, Scotland there, Swami. Hi, guys.
Hello.
So let's just be gentle on John here.
It's all right. I'm not going to be saying. I'm not a big supporter of the Queen.
Yeah, good man. Yeah.
Yeah. Until I know what happened to Diana. So. Yeah.
Well, she was sacrificed.
I think so. Yeah. Classic signs. I think so.
Yeah.
Blood ritual. Yeah.
Well, David, you've only been on for a couple of seconds, and the chat room's already gone a lot better.
No, I'm John.
John, sorry.
I'm John. Sorry, it has changed. Yeah.
David's
David's
up
gone.
there. Yeah. He's got Phil, and now we're joined by John.
So yeah, John from Get Out of Debt Free, helping people beat the banks and beat the debt collectors and stand up and empower themselves.
And so, when, why, how, what?
Okay, right. Okay, we start at the beginning. I had my own business. The business went tits up for whatever reason. I'd sort of woken up a little bit. I started reading books and exploring who I was and trying to work out who I was. And I realised, hang on, I might be part of the universe here. I found myself very empowered. However, the debt collectors used to phone up and I used to shit myself. And I thought, hang on, I'm this like wonderful being and everything. And yet I'm sort of giving my power away to the debt collectors. And I used to crap myself. And now I sort of started sort of exploring what money is and what debt is, and sort of started trying to work out what was going on. And I came across a wonderful book by Mary Elizabeth Croft. I'm sure some of you have come across it. You've come across that, Nick? Yeah.
Spiritual.
It's a long title.
Yeah,
long title. Yeah.
How I clobbered the bankers.
How I clobbered every cash confiscatory bureau known to man. Something like that.
Yeah.
Subtitle: A Spiritual Economic Sky.
Yeah.
And for me, that was wonderful, and it's sort of like, it's almost like she saved me. It made sense to me. So I thought, right, okay, let's find the template letters, and there weren't any template letters. So I went all over the internet, Googled for days. There's got to be somebody who's put together her letters, and nobody had done it. So I thought, okay. Well, I had to put my own letters together so that I could deal with it. So what I did, I just put a really basic website up together, and then put her letters up, made them downloadable for people, and now I've got a website with 20,000 members, and we're getting a few hundred sign-ups every day, and it's really exciting because it's taken off and people are liking it. So yeah.
And you do this with a chap called Salon?
I do, yes, yeah. Well, what it was, I'm pretty crap when it comes to forums, and so I set the forum up, with the idea that people would help each other. But I tried to answer all the questions, but I just found it too much. And suddenly this guy sort of comes on the forum, and he starts answering all the questions. To give you an idea, I've sort of got about 300 sort of posts, and he's got 13,000.
Wow! Yeah.
I mean, he's just on every day, and so what I had to do, I had to give him basically said, look, welcome aboard, and
thanks for doing my job.
And so so I've got there's three of us now who we're very lucky because lots of people donate. So very, very small donations, but we've got lots of people that do it. So it helps us to spend time and actually reinvest in the website, because we get a fair bit of traffic coming through now.
Okay, so for people that are not familiar with the template and the idea of the template, so let's discuss what the template is.
Okay.
Is the notice.
It is effectively a lawful notice.
Yeah.
What it's saying is, okay, is there any debt? It's saying, well, is there a contract? And where did you get the money from? So, can you prove it? And so we're using sort of like lawful terms here, because we're saying, well, hang on, show me the accounting. Where's the loss? Surely you made the money out of thin air on a computer keyboard. We don't say this, but this is what it infers. We're saying you created the money out of thin air, which they do. And the ridiculous thing is when they so-called lend money, they don't lend money. We create it with our signatures, and they then give it to us. Well, we're actually giving them the money.
Well, then, who is the lender?
Who is the lender?
We lend our signature. We lend our sovereignty. We don't even realise.
Of course. A lot of people don't realise.
Yeah. I had a little interesting thing just up at the... I was going to buy some cigarettes from the cigarette Volkswagen here.
I've been up there.
Yeah.
I had to buy tobacco for a chap that was 25. I think he didn't have his ID on him.
No way.
And he asked me.
and so did that lady ask you...
You're over 25 then?
She did.
Yeah, I can,
you'll vouch for that.
Yeah, I'll vouch for it.
Yeah, over twice as much.
and did she ask you for your postcode?
She did.
Did you decline?
I'm toast code. I actually just gave her a fairly close one. But saying that, I have no problem giving my details to everyone. There's some wonderful software that if you want to remain anonymous on the internet, and you can search things without. But I actually want the powers that be to know every single website that I go on, because I've got nothing to hide. We're doing everything in the light. We can actually, be honest and open. It's them that are doing, the powers that be, if you like, call it the New World Order, whatever.
The powers that were.
The powers that were. The old world order.
Yeah.
Now, the whole thing is they do everything in the shadows. They have to do everything in secret. We've got nothing to be ashamed of. All we're doing is practicing the truth and sharing the truth with everyone. So, I'm one of these that okay, give me cameras everywhere. I'll stand up naked. Okay, I don't like that scary Orwellian idea, but what I'm saying is I have nothing to hide, because all we're doing is we're seeking the truth.
Yeah. And the truth is right with us, and it always has been.
Yeah.
And I think...
what I do say, Nick, sorry to cut you off there, I say respect authority. Respect authority totally. There is only one authority, and that authority, you'll find it in your heart.
Yeah.
And if you align yourselves with that authority, then you can't really go far wrong.
Yeah. And also respect that authority, and project that authority.
Yeah. Spread the love.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. And also, when you get the so-called authorities coming at you, you might have policemen or security guards, like security guys at places like this. Well, debt collectors, bailiffs, whatever shape or form they're in, remember they're just another part of ourselves. So give them a bit of slack.
Yeah.
Treat them with respect and love. And often, when you actually treat them like human beings, I mean, it's very easy to say, all the pigs are scum or whatever, but actually, when you treat them like human beings, they actually respond far better.
Yeah,
and it is actually, you can work in a position of power through, just treating them with love and respect, because they probably don't get a lot of that in their lives.
No, I'm hearing you there, brother.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So, are you familiar with the good work that our Canadian brother Dean Clifford?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I've been doing his hyper-intensive video series, and like double trusts and stuff like that. I struggle to get my head around it, but I think totally online there. Yeah. Got some upper in it. Edit that one.
It's live, baby. So you've had the website going for how many years now?
I think I set up the website in early 2009, either 2008, 2009, and it seems like years ago. So much has happened in the last 4 years. Initially, I look at the data, but when I sign into the database, I see that the first being myself being the first member of the, and then it was all mates of mine, and it sort of it probably took a month to get 50 members on the website, and now we're getting somebody signing up in midweek. It drops off at weekends a little bit, but in midweek we'll get somebody signing up every 5-10 minutes.
Wow!
So we're just getting lots and lots of people coming in, and it's lovely because we're not just sharing get out of debt free. On the forum we've got health stuff, we've got freedom stuff, we've got dealing with the courts. We have a newsletter that goes out. I recently did an interview with a bank manager.
Yes, I heard it on the YouTube.
And that's actually gone viral around the internet. And we're getting a lot more people from Australia and America, coming in. So it's just like, I feel that it is a reflection of the energy of this year that things have come together. The fact that I get a phone call saying, look, we've got a bank manager that's actually going to talk openly and honestly, and what he said was amazing. We said things like, okay, do you actually sign the agreements? He said, well, not human beings don't sign them. We just put them through a computer. You get computer signatures from the head of credit risk, but no humans sign them. So, under contract law, which is the basis of commerce in this country and most Western countries, it's a unilateral contract. It doesn't stand up.
I had an interesting letter from a Calder Financial.
One of our favourites.
Yeah. He didn't even have a date.
No. Well, what's funny is they say sometimes, people use our letters, that you can download off the internet, and they say, oh, you've given us a template letter. Well, what do they give us?
Exactly. I actually had one of them send I'd sort of, taken the basis of the template and then elaborated it, just a bit.
We really encourage people to do their own homework.
Yeah.
The trouble is, you see, in this reality that we live in, the government have almost taken over from our parents and made us quite subservient and told us what to do. So people going like, oh, help me, what do I do? Which is the situation I was in. But what I did is I tried to find a solution for myself, and I'm very, very happy to share that with people. However, if you're dependent on government, and then you go to a website that gives you a little bit of help, and then you become dependent on them, then what you're doing, you're giving your power away. So it's fantastic that if you do a bit of background research, read up on Mary Elizabeth Croft, Max Igan, Dean Clifford, There's loads of there's lots of wonderful guys, and they all don't all agree with each other, and I don't agree with them. But it's up to you to make your decision and stand in your power, and and that's what it's about, and that's what makes it wonderful, because it's not like, oh, do this. I might as well be giving you health and safety legislation on, what you're going to do is tie your shoelaces up, and don't trip over that little half-inch gap in the pavement. Stand up for yourself.
Yeah, and these tools of working in the paper world, the fictitious, that isn't taught at all at school.
It can't be.
No.
Well, it would collapse. If this was taught at school, the game would be over. And everything that is taught in school is actually keeping us enslaved. I mean, basically, at school, you're taught to be good slaves. And so, forget that.
I love this quote from Max Egan's new film, which I think we might be showing here tonight.
Excellent. Right.
Transformations. He says that humanity thinks it's free, but it's not free. It's just free range.
That's right. That's very true.
Yeah, we don't see the prison there. But the prison is gone in an instant when you wake up.
Well, Nick, if I can just say something on that, because it's very interesting. If you have, let's not talk about battery hens, but if you have barn hens, okay, they're in a barn, they're not free range. To make them free range, all you have to do is open the door. Now, they're not going to go outside because they've lived a few years under fluorescent light, standing in their own crap, okay? And you open the door, they're not going to go, oh, we're free, and run out, because they've got no idea that they're in a prison, because they were born into this. However, sooner or later, one brave hen
noticed the door there.
And it's going to do that. I wish this was on video. I'm wearing my chicken costume.
This is Glade.
And one chicken will stick its head out and go, and it will take one step outside, and the fox doesn't have it, so it'll take another step, and as soon as it goes out, another chicken will follow, and this is the process we're in at the moment, where and there's plenty of chickens out there now, free range, and really free, because there's no limitations to what we can do.
Everything is possible.
Totally. Well, we're creating this. We are rewriting. We've lived under rules the whole time, and now it's time to rewrite those rules. And sometimes on the website, people say, "Well, should I use blue ink or red ink to sign my signature?" I say, "Well, you decide. You're the sovereign." It's like,
but the system has kept us. As children, we're all in a state of arrested development.
I think so. I really think so.
And the way that we're controlled through the schools, we're conditioned into that that time of day you'll be at work.
Totally.
And you go straight from that. You may have an intermediate bit where you can be a little bit free when you go to university, but then as soon as you finish that, then you clink, and then you're just away, you just and people, not enough people do what they love. They do what will
they have to do.
What will pay the mortgage.
Totally. Totally. And this is the separation of not doing what your heart wants to creates I'm trying to think of the word, but it creates a huge tension, because deep down, if you want to be a poet and you're flogging insurance, then there's going to be some sort of tension in you, because you're not doing, and you probably don't even know what you want to do, because you never actually spent time being quiet enough with yourself
to hear that little voice
and feel that energy. Because the system is designed to stop us awakening from the true selves which we are. And I tell you what, when you get into balance and alignment, things happen very, very quickly. And you meet, I mean, the fact that we are sitting here face to face, it is just proof that when you are in alignment, you meet the right people at the right time, and the opportunities just like come at you, thick and fast. And it's also the fact that, like energies draw together, which is why I'm sat facing you today.
Definitely.
And have we got your mates online?
Yeah. And,
Are they still there?
I think so. Hello? Are you okay there?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Any questions, Steve?
Sorry?
Yeah, do you want to say anything to John here?
Yeah, where's my tenor, John?
Fiat currency.
Yeah, how you doing, mate? How's the house going? Did you ever get the house off the ground?
Well, the plan was, I think that was when I was living in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 9 months of the cold, the 2010 winter, living in the woods over in the Purbeck. And the plan was to build a roundhouse. Unfortunately, where I was planning to do it, despite having my dongle up a 12-foot pole with a frying pan behind it, getting as a satellite, I was struggling with internet connection. And then suddenly, friends of mine offered me this lovely little place right on the beach with broadband. And so, it's like, basically, I had so much, I was held in really high esteem in the Freeman community because I was living in the woods, totally off grid, and then I got back on grid. But anyway, saying that, it was a wonderful experience, and I'm sorry to let everyone down, but I'm still going to build a roundhouse, a straw bale roundhouse at some
straw
point.
bale, yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan.
What's Psychodriller's name? I've forgotten his real name again.
Psychodriller.
Psychodriller.
Oh, Psychodriller. Yeah, that's... I was thinking of him as Psychodriller. Give me 2 seconds, I'll think of his name.
Is he still building them straw bale houses then?
He was. He did a course in straw bale houses.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Now you say Psychodriller, I can't think of his name, but he's actually producing loads and loads of videos.
Yeah.
Go on to YouTube, Psychodriller. Just Google YouTube. Well, go to YouTube, put in Psychodriller, and you'll see him. Driller, as in double L-A.
Yeah.
Double L-A, and you'll find him. But yeah, he's producing he's getting stuff on YouTube, about a couple of videos a week. So yeah.
Wow.
So John said, Steve, that he was up for coming and do some talks in Brighton.
Well, John, last time you were here, we were told you're always welcome back, mate. So anytime you like, we'll sort it out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. That'd be great. There's a connection that I've got with Brighton and Lewis, funnily enough.
Yeah, well, the zoo, yeah.
Great energy there. I did a talk in Zoo Studios as well. It's an amazing place.
Yeah.
Steve was saying just before that Ben Stewart's going to come over to Brighton in.
I mean that was fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic. I mean, it's like, really chuffed he can get over.
So I think he's going to be playing with the band.
Oh, right.
He's also going to do a talk.
Say again, sorry?
He's also going to do a talk for us as well at Zoo.
Yeah.
And in Brighton, and we've got a bit of a better choice of venues now since we put you on in that church hall, John. Do you remember that? It was quite it's progressed somewhat since then. You'll be glad to hear.
Yeah.
Get the Brighton Media Centre, which is quite good.
That'd be great. Yeah. Well, just let me know when and where, and yeah, I'm always very happy. Very happy to turn up. I don't charge any money. If you take donations that help with petrol, great. But I'm doing it for the love and the
Well, we only have people like you anyway.
And all you lovely people. Yeah. Thanks.
Recently, Darren Diochi went and stayed with Stephen, his wife, Magic, for about a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
I'll tell you a funny one with Darren. Before I even knew him, I was in Avebury, and I decided that, going to see Avebury Circle with a couple of friends, and we suddenly saw a sign for a hill, and it said, and I'd just been on the internet and realised there was a crop circle, near that hill, and this was close to the Ridgeway, and so we go into this crop circle, and suddenly my friends are saying, "Oh, this is Darren." So, who's Darren? And Darren Diochi, right? So I first met Darren Diochi in a crop circle in Wiltshire, and it's funny. So he said, they're saying, what are you up to? He said, I'm just about to go to a secret garden party. I'm doing a talk at the Revolution Bunker. And I said, what day are you doing that? He said, Saturday, 1 o'clock. I said, that's really weird. I'm on after you. I mean, how bizarre is that? Yeah. He's like, I think he lives up north. I live right on the south coast.
You give him a film.
This is my house.
I had no idea. I mean, how bizarre is that? Now, what was funny is, as I'm going into Secret Garden, what I'm doing, I'm thinking, I need to get out of here, it's too noisy. I'm going to do my talk and disappear, but I really want to see Darren's talk. So I've packed all my tent in gear, and I realise it's 10 to 1, and I'm never going to get back to the Revolution Bunker to see Darren speaking. So, and I'm carrying loads of tents and everything, and I'm sweating and really hot. And suddenly I can hear this vehicle behind me, and I have to because I'm walking down the central straight, the path into the campsite. Yeah. I pull over and I get his voice going, "Hi, John," and it was Darren. I said, "You're running late, mate." And I thought, yeah, I've got plenty of time. And how bizarre that is. And then at Venus Love Fest, I'm trying to get, the Venus Transit Festival that we were at. I'm actually trying to get in there, and some guy with a bus is trying to do a ridiculous 3-point turn into the narrowest drive. So I thought, festival time, sit and wait, and I had no idea. I didn't look to see who it was, but when I drove in, he said, that was us. And so as I come to the next festival, I meet him before I even get into the festival. So, just bizarre. We've got to listen up. When the universe gives us these wonderful sort of hey, listen up, guys. We're just going to say, yeah, okay, got it. Yeah. So I realised that, and the knowledge and the information that Darren shares with us, it's coming from a very, very high source. I feel. Yeah. He's a very wise man. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah.
Love the guy.
Beautiful. Yeah, you can't not love it.
I love the goo.
Yeah.
The goo.
The goo. It's all good.
Hello. We're joined here by Morpheus. Hello.
How's it going? Yeah.
A fellow Brightonian. I heard you in the tent there. This Morpheus from Brighton. He's a beatbox champion.
Oh yeah.
And he was doing some pretty cool beats before. Would you like to tell us how you started and do a bit for us?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I started when at a very young age, up in the North Welsh valleys,
some friends of mine, classmates, they moved to America. They come back from America and they brought Razel Make Music 2001. It's the first beatboxing album I ever heard. Heard that at the age of 9, and just remember walking along the canal, just trying to recreate the sounds like as a young kid, and just progressed from there. Really, just moved to Brighton a few years later, just more opportunities, and so yeah, just picked it up off people I met and just started from there and just did it for and just freestyle really. So it's always been freestyle. It's never planned or rehearsed, to a point. And
it sounded really good, just the two of you before, with just your voices. And I definitely felt the hologram of sound coming out there. So the lovely Type 1 audience, would you like to...
I can see we've got some activity on the chat room. That's always good, bringing the support. So, we'll just kick off. Condescending to outer space to find another race. I'm condescending to outer space to find another race.
Excellent, wicked. Cheers. Thank you very much. Woohoo!
No worries, man. Thanks for having me. This one goes out to everyone at Glade, having a fucking mental one. Feeling a bit fragile from last night, obviously, as Friday night always does. So just looking forward to tonight, and hopefully try and find somewhere to do some gigs.
And have you got any stuff on SoundCloud and how that?
Yeah, it's / Morpheus, MORPHEOUS.
Excellent.
And all my stuff. I've been using Reason and Logic, and excellent. Yeah, stick to Reason. It's not complicated things, So
I like it because it looks like a studio.
Yeah, that's it exactly. So been doing a lot of work down at Brighton Dome in doing a bit of live sound for them and doing a bit of engineering. So now always on the lookout for any bands out there who need like backline checking or anything like that. You can approach me on SoundCloud or add me on Facebook at Greg Upton. And just approach me through that. I'm also running beatboxing tuition, private, run from a professional studio in the Lewis Road area. So if you, I'm aiming at kind of the age group from kind of
11 to 14, like that kind of period where they're kind of you're not a kid, but you're not a teenager. You know, it's kind of like the in-between stage. So yeah, so I'm looking for like people to you know, pass on the knowledge. I've been doing it with 2 other kiddies for a couple of months now, and it's remarkable. They pick it up quick. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. All right, wicked. Yeah, nice for having me.
Thank you very much,
lot, man.
And have a lovely night.
Wicked.
And thanks to the crowd that came. We have a lot in the radio hugging tonight. Excellent. Hello, people.
Hello.
Should we have a bit of music? Because John's nipped off somewhere, and I can maybe go and quickly get Gareth. And
What do you want to hear?
I don't know, anything that's in the lounge studio.
Okay. Look, 14.
Hello, people. Come in and welcome to the Type 1 Radio Lounge.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name?
My name's Henry.
Henry, you're live on the Type 1 Radio Lounge.
Raymond.
Yeah. And you are?
I'm Millie, nice to meet you.
Millie, big Millie, I'm Nick.
Hi, I'm Dana.
I'm Nick. And we have people in Brighton, people in America, people around the world. Just tuning into the Type 1 Lounge.
I'll say that you're set up in the back.
It's a good place to tune into.
Sorry for the listeners who can't see it, to be honest, because they should be able to. It's amazing.
Yeah. This is nothing to do. This is Phil, who is just with that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's his band, yeah.
It's a very good band.
Yeah. And it's nice that it's in a quiet part of the. If you open that door,
It's not quite anymore.
Comes straight in. So what have you been doing at Glade then?
We've been working.
That was the mellow sounds of the Royal Kush Band, and Hey There. Is that another one of Dudeface's choices?
Lovely.
So who have you got with you now, Nick?
Okay, we have Gareth from the World Shift. He created all this that's happening right now. Welcome to Cloud, my friend.
Thank you very much, buddy.
Tell us how you created this. What's happening right now, right outside this hugging van.
Well, with a lot of help from my friends, including yourself, sir.
Excellent. So tell us about the World Shift and what.
Okay, well, World Shift is, I suppose, a generic campaign promoting peace, justice, sustainability, social innovation, conscious evolution, all the lovely stuff. Anything else lovely could be subcategorized into one of those things. So we think that's a good start to just start talking to people about these values.
Excellent. And so you've had some great speakers on here, and got some even equally as great ones tomorrow.
Indeed, we're very blessed with lots of people who understand these values and are already communicating them in their own way, and that's what we do. Our front face of this festival, the tent that we have out front there is actually called the World Shift Creative Forum. And it's an open space, it's an inclusive space, it's where we invite creatives and cultural creatives to express their visions of another world.
Yeah, and we definitely had one of those last night. Tell us about the sonic manipulator.
Words fail me. I'm a journalist, I'm a PR man, and I will not do this justice. But this guy came randomly up to our caravan and said, "I've got something called a sonic manipulator." And I immediately looked at him.
1 second, mate. Can you get closer to the microphone? The people on the radio can't really hear you, mate.
Okay, yeah. Is that any better? Hello there. Anyway, this guy came into our caravan and said, "I've got a sonic manipulator." I said, "Well, bring it in then." It was just a challenge. We are an open space, you see. What we like to do is put on an open space and to invite people to share their visions of another world. And this guy comes up though, and he's got this most crazy act I've ever seen.
It's like Daft Punk original style.
Yeah, it's like Daft Punk. He dresses up as this alien spaceship man, and the get-up that he's playing on, the setup is not like decks or CD decks or even computers as I've ever seen it before. It's like it's a spaceship. He built a spaceship in our Kent and then played music from it. Bonkers.
Yeah. So how did the world shift consciousness? Where did that come from? You were telling us about
Okay, yeah, right. Well, as I said, we're the World Shift Creative Forum at the front, and at the back we're World Shift Media, and very happy to be working with the software and Glade here, at the back here. But the concept of World Shift was based on a book called World Shift 2012 by a guy called Dr. Irvin Laszlo. Irvin, back in the 60s, was one of the original systems theorists. He helped to start scientifically proving what he calls the Akashic field, that which binds us and nature and the universe, and helped us realize that we are far more interconnected with each other, with nature and with the cosmos than we perhaps some of us think we are. Now, of course, back in the 60s, the hippies were saying it. The yogis and the mystics have been saying it for thousands of years. But he's been a part of a modern academic slant that are empirically and scientifically proving this.
Excellent. And you said that a forum was originally started with people like the Dalai Lama.
Okay, yeah. Well, Laszlo along the way has won many awards and accolades in his time. He's twice nominated for Nobel Prizes. He set up the World Wisdom Council, various other really consciousness expanding organizations. But in 1992, he set up the Club of Budapest, which was an international think tank on how we transition to a peaceful, sustainable future. And I suppose in 1992, that was a relatively cutting-edge thing to be doing. In the club were people like the Dalai Lama, Mikhail Gorbachev, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, Paulo Coelho, Deepak Chopra, Peter Gabriel, all sorts of weird and wonderful people, a very big list of luminaries, and purposely from a diverse set of backgrounds, so that you could actually get a real feeling of what we should be doing. Because if you leave it to the academics, they'll take it this way, and if you leave it to business, they'll take it that way. And so the Club of Budapest purposely had people from all walks of life, including the culturals and the creatives. And he very quickly reported back that you can't actually transition to a peaceful, sustainable future until or unless we collectively and consciously decide that that's what we want to do. It's just not going to happen. We need to give ourselves the mandate. Otherwise, as I said, business isn't going to do it for us on its own, and neither is science. But what Laszlo writes about is the fact that the money is actually there. This whole thing about money is ridiculous, as we all know, in many different ways. There is no such thing as austerity. The science is there, it's getting better, and there's other natural power sciences that haven't even been properly put in place yet. And it's all there. And Gorbachev writes about this book, World Shift 2012. He wrote the introduction to the book, and he said Laszlo has worked out. He said this is our handbook for change. He says Laszlo has worked out what the problems are, what the solutions are, where the money's going to come from, and how we actually do it. Now I would agree with that. It's only a short book. It's 120 pages of very accessible information. It's not shrouded in academic gobbledygook. But I would say it's only the philosophical handbook for change. If you want the real nuts and bolts of how we actually change, then you need to look at things like the transition movement and real practical solutions.
Do you think that the New World Order, as it were, are almost keeping this information on how to transition to them, in light of things like the Georgia Guidestones, which sort of plan out that that you need 500,000 people on the planet rather than 7 billion. And so are they waiting for event that, or are we taking this over to
Well, I grew up as a very angry socialist. I became an even angrier anarchist, and I don't actually need either of those things anymore. And they served me, and they served us at the time because of the systems and in the context in which we live. But we've moved on a hell of a lot from that. We don't need revolution anymore. We need evolution. And the Club of Budapest and World Shift is actually dialoguing around these alien systems and thinking about how we can transition to what we're calling timely transformation. We could choose business as usual and just carry on like this, and how long will that last? That's even a piece of string question. That's up for debate. Or we could actually choose timely transformation, and I'd much prefer the latter. And we don't have to rebel against that. We don't have to fight for it. All we have to do is set up our own systems and systems of service. And we don't have to fight. We just have to sidestep the existing systems. They will perish. They will wither by just not giving them energy. We don't have to. By fighting them, we give them energy. By setting up your own systems, then you can sidestep it. So I wouldn't want to comment as to what the New Order is doing or anything like that. That would be giving it energy. I'm just more concentrated on what I'm doing, what you're doing, what we're going to do. And all we have to do is actually, we've got it all. Between us, we've got it all.
Yeah.
Together, we have everything. We can just sidestep over here and create the systems that we want to see.
Taiwan, baby! Excellent. What other festivals are you going to be taking this amazing consciousness World Shift Arena Forum?
God bless you, and thank you for that comment in the first place. But we're now heading for sunrise celebration, but we're just giving some workshops in other people's spaces there. We're going to Secret Garden again, just doing workshops. The next place that we're holding a space of our own is at Boomtown Fair, which I've not been to yet, but it's pretty bonkers as far as I'm concerned. It builds itself as the UK's maddest city, and so it's going to be a party, but partying doesn't have to cost the planet, and we can still raise some consciousness, even especially in such a hedonistic environment. And then at the end of the season, we're at Waveform Festival, who have supported us all along. They're very good to us, and we hope to have a similar rocking festival.
Yeah, I've met the Angels.
Archangel, they're great. Bruce Archangel and Chris Wizard and Sunbird, and all the other, and Andy and all the other lovelies at Waveform. We love them too.
Yeah, excellent. Maybe quickly, do you want to talk about the documentary that you're making with Paul? So you're making one. Is the stuff that Paul's doing here going to be incorporated in the global?
Paul is making a documentary of his own called The Global Documentary, and it is about connectedness. It's about how between us, we have all the solutions that we need. I'm sure, and I hope you can actually ask him about that directly, but we are supporting it along the way as an example of our open and inclusive collaborative model. We're not trying to set up as one be-all and end-all alternative to Rupert Murdoch's failing empire. We're setting up as a collaborative platform to support people like Paul and yourselves and other media professionals, and we're hoping to help contribute to a healthy ecosystem that values the poets and the musicians and the DJs and the cultural creatives and the environmentally aware and the socially active. And there's no reason why that society can't be helped, shaped by these people. Plato said the world should be led by poets. And what a wonderful place that would be. So this is just an expression of that.
Sophia is waking up, and excellent. Thank you very much.
Bless you.
I think we've taken up enough time there. You get back to the craziness that's outside there.
I'm letting my hair down tonight. I'm going out to a party.
Excellent.
Thanks, boys.
Take care. Well, I think Morpheus has come back here. Excellent. You can do that on the show there.
Wicked. Yeah, wicked. I'm not sure what type of mic to aim
Yeah, there we go.
So I'm not sure how this sounded to everyone else, but yeah, hopefully the chat will help us out if it's all sounding clear. Just let us know. Yeah, how you all like that West Coast shit? Saturday night, you know, I thought I need to go back there. I need to just go and do it justice, you know. Just I had to get that off my chest.
Wicked, yeah. Well, I hear you there.
Yeah, wicked, man. Thanks for having us again. And I hope you're going to have a bit of a party tonight.
Yes, I'll be out there shortly.
Brilliant. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll see you over the weekend.
Wicked.
Okay. See you later, mate.
See you later, man.
Hey, Nick, who's the rapper?
I think he might be having a party, actually. He was a bit wasted before. But I'm sure we can get him down to Brighton, or we can guide him in or something. Yeah. He might come down to Brighton for a gig. Right, well, do you want to play a tune or something, or have a little chat?
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, I want to go for one of them. Just a nice big glass of wine.
All this is all of thingy stuff, isn't it?
Pardon?
All this is like this basic stuff, isn't it? What about Pink Floyd? Forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
So, before the tune comes on there, thank you all for listening to the Type 1 Radio Again. Good to see you all.
Yeah, the beatboxer went down great in the chat.
Yeah, I saw.
They wanted the Queen back on. Why is this not working?
Take care, everybody. This is Sonic signing out. Glade. I'll have it over to Steve.
Okay.
Take care, brothers.